Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of To a Woman's Heart, where we motivate, uplift, encourage, and empower women. So we're back for another episode of Pushing Women Forward, highlighting women on Tuesday. And tonight we have a staple in the community who's been in business serving the community for almost 30 years. And so I'm going to introduce our guest for tonight, Miss Regina Lewis, and let her give you a little highlight of what she does and the people that she serves.
Hello, everybody. My name is Regina Lewis. I'm the founder and CEO of Ashunti Residential. I started Ashunti May the 22nd, 1992. What I do at Ashunti, I help people get their lives together. I service the homeless population. Under that homeless population, there are multi-issues. It might be ex-offenders, domestic violence, mental illness, you name it, I house it. And I help them from getting their IDs all the way to permanent housing. In between that, I also have employment. Under the umbrella of Ashanti, we have several entities. I created these entities because back in those days, it was very hard for ex-offenders to get jobs and get stable in the community. So I formed a transportation company so that I could take them to and from factories. I also work with the factories and asking them about giving this person a second chance. I thank God for the Congressman Danny Davis. He started the second chance program for ex-offenders. From under that umbrella, when you be incarcerated, they always taught them culinary arts. And so I started a catering company so that they can have jobs that way. So I cater for our elected officials and people that needs catering, need some type of particular services from me. Um, I can go on and on and on. I also have a for-profit company, and we call it Specialized Healthcare Services. Under that umbrella, we do substance abuse, anger management, mental health assessments for clients that needs it. And I'm working with BioCore. BioCore is we have partners of several organizations that works together. I say it's 6 organizations, and I would love to give the names for them. Is it okay, Renee, that I can
That's
say
fine. Go ahead.
okay. This is our latest project that is all of us that have formed, we call ourselves COVID busters. These organizations are also in the trenches in the community of helping from our seniors all the way to the babies. And so we see that the big boxes are using and trying to stabilize and open up their what would you call it, their establishments. So what we're doing, we wanted to come into the community so that we can start going back to church, so that it is better to be in person, so that I going into the assisted living buildings so that our seniors can come up out of their apartments and go into their community room. We also services community seniors that's at home. And this is the sprays that we use is a 2-part spray, and we just not actually just spraying, but we also shielding it so that the disinfect can continue to work. And depending upon your traffic, it depends on how long it works. And I'm a firm believer because I sprayed my recovery home 7 months ago. And nobody in it, we get tested every 2 weeks. We do not practice safe distance or none of that. We don't wear masks. We don't do anything. Nobody have had or caught COVID. When they go out, that's when they wear their mask. And when they come in, they just use their hand sanitizer and they're safe. That's a little bit about what I do.
Okay, so I got a question because, in our communities, we lack a lot.
Yes.
We don't get the things that we need in our communities. And I don't think those who reside in the community are aware of certain um, services that's being provided. And people struggle with finding information, from
Yes.
when they need it the most.
Yes.
And it's not enough housing.
Yes. Not only that, since this COVID thing, a lot of people have lost their jobs, not able to feed their families. So Ashanti, every Thursday we pass out food.
Hmm.
It could be Thursday or Friday. We receive food. God have blessed us that we receive the food so that we can help feed the community. That's one of the things that we do. But again, you stipulated it's not enough housing. And you're absolutely right. And I have the licensed recovery homes and all that, but in certain recovery homes, you can't mix the population.
Hmm.
So we have a lot of mental illness people that's out there that's homeless that needs um their own house. And that's where I think they're coming up with this idea of harm reduction. And that is like if you do 10 bags a day, I get you down to 6, I'm doing good. Those people need their own. So what Ashanti is trying to do now is I'm trying to do a Ashanti campus
Hmm.
that I have the different stages of housing for the different population of people. And when they
Okay.
talk about affordable, it's not affordable. How could I afford if I'm on SSI paying $700 just for a studio?
Right.
And all I get is $783. It's hard. So the city, and that's something that I keep fighting about. The rents is off the chain. It keeps you struggling. It
Hmm.
keeps you that if I'm a single mom, it's hard for me to buy clothes and stuff for my kids when I got
Hmm.
all these bills.
Right.
So housing is a part.
So, what can we do as a community to change the narrative?
I think like we have done these 6 organizations, that Sisters of the Hood. We got Hope Incorporated. We have Owens and Owens, me myself. Then we have you as the social media, and we have Glenda, that she just one that loves feeding the community. She actually go out and feed the homeless. If we all get together and we stick together, if we share our resources,
Hmm.
we'll help our community. And a lot of us don't like doing that. I don't understand what is the problem in sharing your knowledge that God has given you.
Right. I think a lot of problem is because our we have been disappointed so much in different areas, and then our trust factor has pretty much depleted because people have presented themselves to help in our communities and they don't help. And most of the time, if you look around the Austin community, let's be honest about it,
Yeah.
most of the entities that's inside don't even reside in Austin. And the
Exactly.
entities that reside in Austin that's actually doing the groundwork, like you and other organizations, is the one who have to fight the hardest.
Yes. I have been fighting for 29 years. Still have not gotten any help from the city. And they know I'm here. They have rewarded me channel 257, you name it. But far as really helping me, no help. But say if I don't want to give no names, they come into the community, they get millions.
Right.
Right. And they taking over. But small organizations like me, no help.
Mm-hmm.
Not even from the political world. And they all knows me too. But somebody else come, they give them millions.
And I think that's the bulk of the problem where we
Yeah.
have a need and the needs are not being met. And
Yeah.
as you know, looking around the Austin community, as I say, when you cross over on the other side of Austin, it's a whole different environment. But when
Yes.
you're on the east side of Austin, you got abandoned buildings, you got investors that the city allows those individuals to come in and purchase those buildings, and they don't do anything about them. But a resident who lives in the vicinity, they want to write them fines and everything else, which
Yes.
cause more strain on the individuals who's in the community.
That's
So
right.
this is a big problem. I mean, you're doing a good job of servicing the community, but you need the assistance to push you a little bit further.
Yes. And not only that, is like people like me, it's hard to get those houses. I
Mm-hmm.
done been down to City Hall. I done been try to get vacant lots when they used to be $1 now. You go to the Alderman stuff, just go down there and purchase it. How am I purchase it when I'm trying to stay afloat?
Right.
So, and that's just a vacant lot. And these houses, I think they know what I do. They can donate them,
Right.
and we fix them up.
Right.
But instead, they let the outsiders come in and take over the community
Well, here's
instead
here's
of.
here's my thing. We have, and I've said this plenty of times, we have Emmett that's on Madison and Central. We had Key School that had two buildings that's been empty. Now you've created this group of organizations, six individuals that's doing the
Yes,
BioCorp. So you created another realm of servicing to help the community, try to get the community open in a safe way.
yes,
At the same time, why not donate a building or an abandoned school to an organization who's doing the footwork and
yes,
let them use the building where you can do feeding the homeless, or you can provide some financial literacy classes, you can
yes,
provide some mental health assistance, you can send them, get them some clothing, or they can get some
yes,
information that they need. And this is the problem in our community, and this is where we
yes,
as a group of individuals need to step up to the plate and push the agenda.
yes. Not only that, they done went so far that so many schools are closed, and our kids have to go into another community, and that's why all this chaos and violence is going on too,
Hmm.
because they have to. They no longer can just go across the street and go to school, and where they were safe. Then they leaving all these abandoned schools, just like the abandoned buildings in our community, and they shipping us out.
Hmm.
So I think what they're doing is what they call regentrification,
Hmm.
you know, and they only gave us 50 years, Renee. That's it. And this going on the 55th year. And you see it's changing. That's how my dad, when I was growing up, my dad used to tell us that. And I see what he's saying now. So I
Hmm.
think a lot has to do with their plan 50 years ago,
Hmm.
right? So it would take us to stand up again and fight for our rights. And, and the killing part about it, we don't even have a community.
Right.
People of color, we all over the place where
Hmm.
everybody has a community but us.
Right. So, question: when you're talking about recovery homes, How difficult is it to establish a recovery home inside of the community?
Well, when you first start, in order to put your recovery home in any community, you have to get permission. You have to get permission the from your neighbors. If your neighbors say that I don't want it in it, you can't open it up because you have to be zoned for it.
Mm-hmm.
They're dealing with zoning. And if they welcome you, then you have to go through DASA,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get it licensed and all that stuff. But anybody, and not just like say they think you got to have money. No, you got to have a heart. And it's hard to believe. I started mine with a $65 book of stats. That was it, and
Mm-hmm.
a hope and a vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to everybody that I helped. I didn't get no help.
Mm-hmm.
I never forget. And it took a total stranger to give me an old sugar shack out south when
Mm-hmm.
I'm a West Sider, and told me give me 6 months to fix it up, and I'll have no rent, no nothing. Me and 12 clients, we fixed it up in 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people be coming at me now. I've been helping people over the years with these recovery homes, and they come to me. Some of them don't have the heart. Some of them think that it's money's involved.
Mm-hmm.
When you first start out, no. I worked a job for 15 years
Mm-hmm.
before I got my first contract. And when you knew, they're not gonna try you with a contract. You don't have a track record.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to form your track record, and then you probably can get some assistance from the state or on a federal level.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
So people actually think, because people say, "Oh, I can do this, and I'll just get a recovery home or transitional housing or whatever it may be," and that'll just. But everything that you start, especially in our community, it's a fight.
yeah, it's a fight. You have to fight. Exactly. Say, and now, if I wanted to go to Beverly Hills,
Mm-hmm.
are they gonna fight me tooth and nail? Not in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
That's as they put it, because they feel like you opening up something and you bringing too many criminals in my community on my block.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean we have to fight for this.
But here is the thing, and I'm going to piggyback on what you just said. You're bringing too many criminals on our block, and I
Yes,
said this. Everybody got an addiction or a problem with something.
yes,
The only difference is between drug and alcohol is an addiction that you can see.
yes,
But lying is an addiction.
yes,
Stealing is an addiction.
yes,
Deceiving and manipulating people is an addiction. Now, they always say they don't want us to come in their community, but they sneak in ours.
yes, yes,
They
yes.
sneak in ours and they set camp and they use the individuals in our communities to do what they need to do. And then they don't benefit our community
That's it.
whatsoever.
Yes,
And so the organizations that's what they call grassroots organizations are
yes,
left to bear the burden of the community, just like in COVID. Now we have all these big entities inside the Austin community, but
right.
not too many was feeding individuals like you was feeding individuals.
Yes, and
And
they got
that's
the
the
big bucks.
heartbreaking part. Yeah, that's the heartbreaking part, because there are people out here that actually have needs in these communities. They got
Yes,
kids and there are seniors that have needs, and those needs are not being met. And
yes,
that's what breaks my heart.
yes. And then if you remove the drugs and alcohol, that's only 10%. The other 90% is that person. And that person, like Renee said, they might be a booster. That's addiction. Whatever caused them to start picking up, they started with the first addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Lying. Some of us got eating habits. That's
Mm-hmm.
an addiction. Sex is addiction.
Right.
It's a whole lot of different addictions. So I don't know why people would. not want to see a house in their community that can really help their neighbors.
Right.
They might have a granddaughter that got kids like you say, and she done became homeless because she can't afford that rent.
Right.
Need a house in that community for that granddaughter.
Right.
You
Right.
know.
I was watching one of the reality shows, and it was a reality show that Tamika Taylor from Until Freedom was speaking, and the man made a good point. He said, "What is going on in our communities is no longer the neighborhood; it's just the hood."
Huh.
So we took the neighbor from the hood and just left the hood because back in
Yes.
the day when we was coming up, neighbors looked out for each other.
That's right. We knew each other. Not only that, the neighbor was able to whip us and send us home. We got another whipping.
Hello.
Now, if you touch a child or say something to a child, here come the mom. They ready to fight.
Mm-hmm.
So we lost our value,
Right.
our morals, our
Mm-hmm.
respect
Mm-hmm.
for our elders, but not on that for one another. Just,
Exactly.
just even being friendly. Hey neighbor, how you doing?
Right.
None of that anymore.
Mm-hmm. And we always think somebody trying to take from us
Yes, yes,
instead of
it,
helping. And it's sad because there is such a need in the community, and one person can't do it alone.
no,
Or even where your facility sits, um, it's not enough.
no, no. And not only that, I want to piggyback on that when you said one person can't do it. No, it takes a village to raise a child. Not only that, it takes all organizations to come together. Okay, like Sisters of the Hood, she provides financial literacy. My people need to know how to clean their credit up,
Mm-hmm.
how to manage their monies, how to budget it, open up bank accounts, so when they move forward, they could be prosperous.
Mm-hmm.
Then they become a productive member of society.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then we have another group that comes in. See, I can't provide it all.
Right.
That's why I link up with other organizations to provide the whole need of my client. We call it a holistic approach.
Mm-hmm.
And if they receive it, they're gonna get their life back together.
Yeah.
Through the grace of God.
Mm-hmm.
It takes all of us. But
Yeah.
some people
If they
remain.
Yeah, if they receive it, some people, and we must be realistic and we're honest. Everybody ain't gonna want to receive it, but for
Exactly.
those who want the help is available,
It's available. It's available.
and
And
that's
that's
good.
a good thing. Like you said, we definitely need this school. You know, we got. I used to have a community center, and I'm looking back for one where we had Sisters of the Hood providing the seniors. They had groups. They had arts and crafts. They used to look forward. Then they get a good hot meal and everything. Then we had the children's program, which Mika Woods was over that,
Mm-hmm.
and the kids got a chance to experience life outside of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Got a chance to see things downtown, Navy
Mm-hmm.
Pier, things that sure that's the things that my family, my father used to do for us to show that the world is much bigger than just the community.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna take us to get together, see the problem, and ask help if it takes us to get to the mayor or whatever we got to do. Come and see our community and see what we're trying to do for our people.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Instead of just labeling us as criminals and
yeah,
thugs and all
yeah,
that stuff. And what I want to say too is, because you see somebody in a situation, don't think that they just got in that situation. Every time somebody arrived to a point where we think it's of no return, there is something that pushed them to that point. People
yeah,
just don't wake up and just want to do things that they do. They don't. That's something that has pushed them. They have gotten to the point where enough is enough and they feel like they have no way out. So
Yeah.
that's what we call when you're back against the wall. So you do what you do. You either revert to
Yes.
drinking, you revert to drugs, you revert to stealing,
Yes.
whatever it may be. That's what you're going to
Yes.
do.
Yes. And just like when a woman can't feed her family, she does a whole lot of different things that she would normally not do. So it's a
Exactly.
lot, yeah. It's a lot of issues. And a woman that's on drugs just to get one more. She might sell her daughter. And if she wasn't on it, she wouldn't do that.
Right.
I know the pain that she be in, you know. It's a lot of reasons why a lot of people is incarcerated. And
Mm-hmm.
it's due to drug addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of crimes have been committed because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So if we remove that, we got a decent person.
Yeah.
They back themselves. They
Mm-hmm.
got lost, like you say, they back got against the wall
Mm-hmm.
and they came out swinging in the wrong direction.
Exactly. But to have a facility where you can go to that somebody actually care about you as a human being and you can
Yes,
put anybody anywhere. You can.
yes,
But the difference is when somebody has a heart for what they
yes,
does and they're genuinely want to help somebody. That's where the connect is at. But when you're
yes,
doing it just to gain money from the city or the state, you're not
yes.
really helping nobody.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And you know, all of my babies, they call me mom. I tell them in a minute, I hit you in your throat. Better get this, you know. And my homes, my facilities, they look like home because in the women's facility, they're taught how to be a woman again. From the cooking to the cleaning to what God created them.
Mm-hmm.
In this day and age, like I tell them, it takes two. But back in the days, back in the old days, we provided at home. So even the men's facility is making the men's be a men, making them accountable. They have to get out and get a job because they have to provide for their family.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I ain't gonna listen to nobody, hey, they can't provide for me.
Right. Right. But how many people would take the time to, some people just take residents in just to take them in
Yeah,
with no protocol whatsoever. But you're right. They need to be shown and taught that you're an important person, you're an important part of
yeah,
society because their
yes,
confidence and their self esteem has been daggered or beat down so much
yeah,
because they feel like don't nobody care and all it takes is somebody to care. And the funny thing about tough love is what you do.
yeah.
When you treat them just like anybody, you treat your kids, you treat them the same way,
That's
they
it.
appreciate you for that.
Yes, and hug them. We got organizations out here. It's just like you said. There's no love in it. It's all about the dollars. If I get paid for you 60 days, that's 61 days. If you ain't got no money, I'm putting you up out of here. I've been hearing that over through all through the years. And those are the, I get what you call, I call them the leftovers. You done milked them out. Now you
Mm-hmm.
want to put them out and you want to put them on people in organizations like mine.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not in this for saving lives and helping people, it's just like when I curse my clients out, hit them in their throat, then I turn around and I hug them
Mm-hmm.
and I explain to them why. We got organizations out here. After 60 days, they put them out and they calling me. They done put me out. Could I come there? Yeah. Could you work? Because you're gonna take care of yourself. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what a lot of organizations is falling short on. Now
Mm-hmm.
you make them accountable that they can pay you rent. You don't hold them
Right.
for 60 days and tell them that they can't work because you getting this money or they got to do this group here. Now you do it the other way around. Have them to work and make sure you got groups in the morning, groups in the evening, whatever it takes for that
Right.
individual.
And so when that's a good point because when you put them out because you don't want them to work and they're attending groups all day long, so how they supposed to establish themselves back into society? So you need to create some kind of balance for
Yes, Yes, and that's another thing why I argue with the system too as well. So I applaud these other organizations, but you guys need to start working a little harder with your clients. You need to show them another way, add some components like I did. You have to go think outside of the box in
Mm-hmm.
order to help our people.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the box. In the box, hey, I'm gonna get paid for you. You gotta go. That's it. I can't help you no more. Hell, you wasn't helping them from the beginning. Excuse my French.
Right.
It's just milking them, and
Right.
that's not good.
So what are the programs of your residents? What are the things they have to do besides get a job, which is the most important thing, but what do they do to get them acclimated back into society?
They have to attend the groups. I have groups in the morning, and I also have groups in the evening. The
Mm-hmm.
same types of group. So if you
Mm-hmm.
work in the morning, you're gonna get yours in the evening. If you work in the evening, same thing, vice versa. In the morning. Now to help them, that's what I was saying. We have everything from helping them receive that identification to, like I say, from their identification, then we'll go through the employment, and then we'll start looking for houses. But I also have independent house. I believe my rent is only $400 a month. Independent. Let that money be able to roll off your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the independent house have a job or some type of income, and they got to let it start rolling out. And they have to save
Mm-hmm.
because I don't believe in dependent on the system. Because
Mm-hmm.
as you can see, the system forever changing.
Right.
Everybody be looking for this low income. And you only can be on the X amount of years, then what you gonna do?
Right.
So no,
So you preparing them all the way around, the good, the
exactly.
bad, and the ugly.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And on the weekends, not only that, on the weekends, we do things as a family. We go to the shows, we go to the museums, we go to plays, we go out to eat. The main thing, we go to church
Mm-hmm.
because see, God is the one that's gonna help them. We just providing for them, but
Right.
He is the key. From out
Right.
the church, we might go eat. We're gonna do something as a family.
Right. Right. So you had diamonds in the rough.
Yes, 18 years. My kids, I watched them grow up. Diamonds in the Rough is a program and it's free because again, how could you pay for your child to be in a program when you're already struggling at home?
Mm-hmm.
So with Diamonds in the Rough, every week, my kids go on field trips. They go swimming every day. They do arts and crafts. They also have group because kids got problems too, and they
Right.
need to be able to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So they have groups. They eat a hot meal, and if they don't have food at home, we make sure that the parents that they can get the food and everything. We nurture them. So I don't watch
Mm-hmm.
babies grow up. Now they got babies, and they babies in my summer program, and I look forward for the summer. Not only that, my 16 to 24-year-olds, they're peer counselors. So
Mm-hmm.
they over my little ones from 4 to 12. I also take them on retreats. So we go to the resort, and I have a week for that. So I take them there so they can experience going canoeing, horseback riding, having a campfire. They can experience all that good stuff like
Mm-hmm.
we did when we was kids. So old fashioned diamonds in the rough, and y'all know what a diamond is. When a diamond is first, it is so ugly. So it got to be chiseled to get to the beauty of it. And we
Mm-hmm.
taking our kids early and empowering them to be somebody. You don't have to stay stuck. And whatever they want to do, we motivate them. Yes. And
And
again,
that
mhm,
that's important because most people, when they have service in the community, they just stick to one individual, and it's important to know that even though the adult individual is getting the help, the family get the residual effect, and they need help too.
Yes. Not only that, I believe in family reunification. On the weekends, the women's they got kids, they bring your babies because that's a process that you got to
Mm-hmm.
put the babies back into your life. Even if they're teenagers, even if they're grown because they wasn't a part of your life, you gradually bring them in. So we do a lot of family things together.
And that's a good thing because family is so important. We didn't got so far from family. You
Yes,
know, we've gotten far from family, and the family is the most important thing there is. And we need to get back to that, back to the basics.
yes, we do. Yes, we do. I mean, mothers, I mean, the way that some of these girls talk to their parents, the way that they disrespect, just not the girls, but the guys.
Mm-hmm.
We done lost all of that. You
Right.
know, they got word for word now. When if we open our mouth, we got popped in it, you know? So things have changed, and I think things need to go back the way it was. And it's going to take some strong, powerful people, not just women, but men need to stand up and start being men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they a lot of women feel like, well, I don't need no man. I can take care of myself and all that. Yeah, you do. We all need something and somebody,
Right.
you know. But everybody needs to, especially the guys, because these young guys need role models out here now.
They do.
Yeah,
They
we
do.
have. Yeah, we have organizations out here, fatherhood, uh, Reverend Walker, his program and stuff like that of helping fathers. You got some good fathers out here that want to be fathers,
Mm-hmm.
but the ladies not letting them be fathers.
Exactly.
That's going on too. And I think once you break up or you're not together, that child should not suffer. If they
Right.
don't want to be a part of their life, let them be if that child
Mm-hmm.
wants it. You know, I'm a
Right.
firm believer of that.
So, what is your vision for Ashante?
Well, so far, like I said, I want to do a Shanti campus. I want the different housing. I got to open back up a community center, and I have expanded to Jackson, Mississippi. So
Okay.
right, yeah. So right now in Jackson, we have one facility that we're working on. Where I took the catering down there, and I took the community center. I have that already in Jackson as we speak, and I took it back home. That's where I was born in Jackson, Mississippi. That's where my family. So I went back to my roots
Mm-hmm.
to see about helping them down there. I met the mayor. He welcomed me with open arms, and he wanted a meeting with me. So my thing with Ashanti is to be able to stabilize it and to expand it in whatever area, whatever community, or whoever needs the help.
That's a beautiful thing, and we know our communities definitely need to help. You
Yes.
know, if we can clone you, it would be nice.
Hey, but Renee, I'm here. But
Yeah.
whoever needs us,
Right.
the more people that get involved, the more lives we could save. That's
And
the
that's the,
whole.
yep, that's the important part. So tell everybody where you're located.
I'm located. My men's facility is 4909 West Huron. My women's facility is 4944. I got one on one end, one on the other. So we're very together. My independent house is at 4011 West Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
Is my independent house.
Okay. How many people do you service and to combine in both houses?
37.
Okay.
I'm
And
about to
that's
buy
and
out.
I asked that question because I want people to understand 37, that is a not even a fourth of a fourth of a fourth of people that needs to be serviced.
Yes.
So that just go to show you how big of a need the housing is, and
Yes.
especially for those who's coming out of prison. and
Yes.
and again, I'm going to say this because I say this all the time. People tend to think that individuals are behind those bars because they've done something. And that's not always the
Right.
case. Sometimes they at the wrong place, what they consider the right place, but at the wrong time.
Wrong time.
You follow what I'm saying? So people, individuals get caught up. So I just want everybody to understand and to realize that nobody picks and choose they want to be homeless, hungry, or hopeless. They just don't.
Right.
Life
Right.
happens to everybody, but the
Yes.
difference is how individuals deal with life, which
Yes.
pushes them to the point where they feel like they don't have no hope and there's nothing that's going to help them, and so they do the things that they do. But what we need in our communities are facilities that can help them get acclimated back into society, that
Yes.
has people who have hearts, that cares about those individuals and know that there is a need, because
Yes.
anybody can change. We all made mistakes.
Yes.
Nobody is perfect. We've all made mistakes. So
Yes.
just know that this is what's needed in our community. It really is. It's very
Yes.
much so needed. And hopefully we can get better. We can help
Yes.
expand Ashante,
Yes.
so we can service more individuals because it's needed.
It's not only that, Renee, I'm also over 50 people payee that Social Security calls me myself, and I've been doing that since 1996.
Mm-hmm.
People pay that can't manage their monies, or the parents of somebody done misappropriate the funds and stuff like that. We
Mm-hmm.
also work with the court system,
Mm-hmm.
Judge Burrs and them, and we have community service. We work with the juvenile courts that the kids can do their community service work with me, and also the criminal courts
Mm-hmm.
that DUIs. We work with that as well, so that they can get their community service hours, so that they can continue on with their life. They can get their license and all that. We help with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Ashanti does a lot just besides housing, because it that I would call that a wraparound program
Mm-hmm.
is what I do. And
Yeah.
that means servicing anybody that needs help. If I can't help you, I'm gonna get on that phone and I'm gonna try to make sure that somebody can. One of these organizations I'm working with, that they can be able to help. So
Right. And that's good that you have a great relationship with other organizations, that everybody can
yeah,
lean on each other, and that's what you call a good
yes,
community.
yes, yes,
That is a good
and that's
community.
and that's what we trying to form.
And that's a beautiful thing. So,
Mm.
everybody, I want to thank Miss Regina Lewis for enlightening us on Ashanti. And I hope everybody have a little clear understanding of why homes are sitting in our communities and what purpose that they really serve inside of our community. And I hope that we find it within our hearts to step up to the plate, to make a
Yes,
difference, come out and help with, passing out food or giving away clothes, whatever the need may be. There are
yes,
organizations that sit in your community. They're not just sitting there, they're working hard. You may not see all
yes,
the hard work, but the hard work is going on, and it's a daily basis, 24
yes,
hours a day. This
yes,
goes on because there's always somebody who needs help. And so I want to thank you, and I hope again that you all will share this information and let
yes,
us step up to the plate. We good at sitting behind the doors and pointing fingers and talk about what should be and what's not going to be. Let's put our voice to action and let's step up to the plate and do something. Volunteer.
yes, yes,
You can volunteer. Every organization needs the help. If you don't have nothing to do
yes,
with your time, and I'm gonna say this: some of y'all
yes,
kids need to volunteer so they can learn how to appreciate the things that they have.
yes, yes.
This will show them
I agree.
to be
Yes,
appreciative of what they have, because there is a child that's not getting nearly what your children are getting, and they would love to sleep in the bed and have a
that's it.
meal to eat when they want to
Yes,
eat it, and shoes to
yes,
put on their feet and clothes on their back. So we take some things for granted in life, and we're trying to push forward so we can enlighten or expand our horizons and educate ourselves on some things. And
Yes.
this is the time to do that. So, you have anything you want to close with, Regina?
I just want to thank everybody for listening to us. I want to thank you, Renee, for having me on your show. And it's a beautiful show. I think everybody should join To a Woman's Heart. You know, a lot of us out here, we're working hard. And sometimes we do need that recognition so that we can continue on. I just want to thank you for allowing me to share about Ashanti. And to all your followers and everything, y'all need my help, I'm here. They tell me I don't, what is Renee? I'm hard to get to.
Right.
Hey, but really, hey, but really, I'm not. Hey, if you can't get through Renee or somebody gonna get me. And I love you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Hold on.